Hi, I'm Shel the Philosopher, and you're listening to Backstage Pass.
Are you relaxed?
Alright, this next song is dark. This is Lucy here talking there. This is like when she had me like in her strongest group, so trapped in a vortex, man, I should've been left. I don't know what's next. She's a devil in a red dress, playing Russian roulette. Maybe this is God's test.
Hi, I'm Randy Hollenbeck, and this is Backstage Pass. Tonight, we're at the local 724 in Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania, with Shel the Philosopher. Say hi.
How's everybody doing out there? Nice to be in y'all's presence.
Now, you just released a new album, Lucy. Can you tell me a little bit about who you worked with? I saw you collaborated on some tracks with some people. What the producer's name is, who you work with?
So really the project itself, like I kind of started coming up with the concept for it around like almost 4 or 5 years ago. And when I like first kind of had the idea of it, I kind of thought it was like too crazy in a way. I was like, I can't possibly make anything that would sound like this. Not because like, I just didn't think I had the ability to. And as I kept going along, I like met certain people, one of them being like my producer T-Long, my guitarist Tyler Marcellina, my drummer Penguin, as well as like other really good rappers. Like on the album there's like Julian Ludwig, who like I met when we were both working at like the Exchange, and we just so happened to be like, he was like, yo, like I write raps, and I was like, word, I do too, and make beats, so this might be perfect. Sam Murray as well, and a lot of some of the other artists on there, like Zach Foley and Jordan Savage from like Faded and Jaded. They're like an up and coming band in Pittsburgh that like I'm beginning to work with. But like on the project, they have like 2 standout parts, and then like even like my saxophone player, like Any, like I kind of met him because I just went to this one random like jazz night in Lawrenceville, and he happened to be playing, but he was like playing in such a different style than everyone else. It was almost like everyone else was like classically trained, and it was like I could hear that he had taught himself in a sense, and he literally learned how to play by like trying to mimic Kendrick's voice on like songs and stuff. So yeah, I had like a whole, and then I mean Catherine Stray as well. Like this is someone like she's a friend of mine's, and she for a while had been like kind of hinting that she had wanted to sing as part of like my music stuff, and just one day she finally like convinced me, and now every time like we record something or we put something out, it just sounds like incredible or impeccable, and it's like we have incredible chemistry. So the team and like the team and collective I've like surrounded myself with and put myself around, like they're just really a bunch of really good artists, really good producers, and they're just really like solid people who just push me to like always kind of like not stay stagnant and keep making the same songs over and over again, but really they encourage me to like try new things, because according to them I encourage them to try new things like in music. So I just honestly I feel like I'm leaving some people. Actually I am one of the main people. My guy Roscoe, Like I've been working with him now for going on 2 years, like out of the rap cave, and like this, when I tell you, like me and him are just like perfectly in sync. Like there's a lot of times, like a lot of edits and cuts or effects that he'll make to the beats or to the lyrics or vocals and everything. And what it enables me to do is kind of like have my back turned and trust him at the board while I can like produce and kind of direct the guest appearances or the other artists that are in the studio with us that night. So like he's a very big part of it. Like just being able to like have somebody that knows your sound and has like actually helped you like craft and really like from the jump. Like he's been like the biggest difference like in terms of like how my music sounded before and after. And on the album Lucy, you can definitely hear Roscoe all throughout the project, as well as like everybody that gets a guest appearance. I make sure that like they're not just on there just to be on there. It's like if they're showing up, I want them to stand out on the song. Like so yeah, that's it.
So you were saying earlier about branching out and trying different things and doing different things. I think that's correct. You should always try something, and if it doesn't work, then you move on to something else.
Oh, 100. Like I'll give you an example. Like the song, there's a song on the second song of the album. It's called Flying. It was a beat that I originally bought when I was in Bulgaria. It's from this one person. His name's Hideo Tech, and I just found him on there online on YouTube. He had like a few beats. Was able to get like a few good ones from him. Not even a few good ones, a few amazing ones from him. And I recorded something over there. And I remember I sent it back to my cousin, who hopefully he's here tonight. I sent it back to him, and he was just kind of like, "Yo, this sounds like you. This is, I don't know what this is." And over in Bulgaria, like played it for a few of my teammates, and even they was like, "Whoa, what is this?" But for me, it was like, it was inspired by like when we would go to the clubs in Bulgaria, and I would hear their version of rap, and I'm like, what if I did that and added it to mine's a little bit? Like, what if I added that spin to mine's? Like, and then there's obviously that ain't what it sounds like on the radio, but it's like, who cares what it sounds like on the radio at the end of the day? It's like, if you're good enough, like you'll punch through, like, you know what I mean? Like that's just kind of how I feel about it. Like there's certain artists that I do believe that because they took their time and they have their own sound and their own style, that they can come out with new stuff all the time, and it's good for the radio, and it's like they dictate what gets played in a way. And those are the artists that I'm trying to compete with and trying to like mimic myself with after, and trying to in a way try to catch up in a sense. So for me, like the trying new stuff, I think it just helps me kind of like expand, and just helps me kind of enable what's what I'm looking for, like engage with people, like a part of people's like guilty pleasures, or a part of people's like music taste that they're like not afraid to admit that they like, but they don't do it in front of everybody else. It's like, it's the rock songs they listen to when they're at home that they don't admit that they like when they get out in public. It's like, that's what I want this album to be. I want, like, the reason it's called Lucy is because it's supposed to be almost like a guilty hidden pleasure that that has escaped and got into the real world. And I want, like, at some point, there's 12 songs on there, all of them have different sounds, but they have like a perfect flow through them. And I just wanted at some point for someone to be like, oh shit, like, is that a 9 Inch Nails reference? That is. I know. Oh my god. Like, no one else in here might get it, but I get it. Like, because that's me. That's also the type of music fan I am. Like, I love like the little intricacies that make music great. So when I'm making music, the best way to make it is original and like organic to myself, is to incorporate and leave those little Easter eggs for people like myself that are just fans of this thing called music. Yeah.
Now, I did a preview of your album today, and there was one track that stuck out. It was called Dark. Can you tell me about that song? I know it sounds like it's about like temptation and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's 100% what it's about. So, I mean, the album itself is a story. It's like, I mean, I'm not ashamed to admit it. Like my partner and all this, Caleb, we went down and visited with his parents one weekend, and we watched Hamilton, like the new one. I had never seen it, but I'd always heard about it, and I'm like sitting there listening to it, and I'm like, I ain't saying like I'm like, what if I did write my project more like it's a Broadway play more than it's just like an album? Like, what if it's like a Broadway play that's more like an audio form? And I was like, okay, let me see what I can do here. And then I went back and I started thinking of certain songs, but I'd already kind of had the story mapped out from like just some real life experiences that I kind of made like a mashup of and turned into like and molded into a whole new story. So the dark kind of just came from like I mean, I guess we all kind of deal with it where we have to face our vices or we have to face certain things. I'm not ashamed to admit it. Mine is women. Like, that's my thing. Like, I love women. Love the hell out of them, right? And there's been, like, some past relationships where, not that I've cheated or anything like that, but just where I kind of, like, would get too focused on, how do I put this? Like, get too focused on my career, get too focused on what I'm doing, and like, you know, the spoils of war, so to speak. And that would ruin relationships quite often. And so the song, you know, when you hear me saying like fight back, it's like, you know, in terms of the album, it's like, and that's why Barbados kind of comes back, it's like the return of like my guardian angel. Like in the first song, there's like his voice is missing, that's on me. It's supposed to be like a duel going back and forth where it's like he's the angel on my shoulder and my other artist, like Lucci Ludwig, he's on my other shoulder, and you know, we're battling, they're like kind of battling and I'm in the middle kind of like talking it out, and then my angel disappears because I give into the dark side for a little bit, and then once we get to dark, it's like that's where I kind of realize like, okay, I've made like a terrible mistake, like this has gone too far, like I need to leave. But you know, it's the thing about trying to quit anything that's addicting or quit anything that's a vice or that really has you hooked and has a good hold on you. It's like you can tell yourself you're gonna quit as many times as you want, but it's like there's still something pulling you back. And it's like that song is like the main character really telling himself to like fight back and being like, his like conscious kind of being like, all right, listen, you've gone too far now, like you gotta leave. And she's like, it's too late, like I'm in you, like I'm a part of you now, like you can't shake me if you wanted to, like you can't get rid of me if you tried, like I am as much of you as you are of me. And it's like we're each other's yin and yang. And then and that's kind of what leads into like the next song when Lucy's kind of more like taunting him, like it's like, go ahead, run back and try to, you know, make up with your girl. I know you'll end up right back here, so I don't care, like go ahead. Like
so wow, this album must be like deep. There must be so many layers in your songs to, like, some people might not even will miss some of the stuff that's going on.
But that's, I mean, that's kind of how it's always been for me. Like with the, like when I really started figuring into like my own style, it's like kind of building like a 3-layer cake, where it's like the words are more just like a narrator, you know, getting you through the story. They're telling you the story, right? The real story, like my part of it, is the beats. Like that's really my part of it. Like my story lies within like the beats, and then the overall packaging, usually that's just like kind of a mixture of both, where it's like there's this, not me creating a different world, but kind of creating a reality in a sense. Like if someone's listening to my album, I want them to like be able to escape and feel like they walked into this bar and now they're on this adventure with this outsider. Like they don't know how we ended up here with this person, but we're on this adventure with them. And to me, in order to do that, you have to create layers. I mean, who likes TV shows that are bland and just like, oh, here, there's this little thing? But I think also a big part of actually being able to create layers is having layers, like having depth, like having something to actually say. Like part of my whole thing, part of me getting into music and why it's really helped me so much is because it helped me kind of like deal with things that I wasn't able to deal with. Like it helped me be able to like write and express things that before I was like holding in and just was doing nothing but building anger. And now it's like I have a whole different outlet for it and have a whole different, and it just allows me to kind of create a world unto like a whole different world, right? But that's also the thing, it's like it's a tough challenge to create a whole different world. So that's why like with this, like the song Dark itself was written 4 years ago. like every part of it was like written 4 years ago, but it was like, once again, I was like, I needed somebody that could bring it to life with me, and I myself had to get to the point where I could perform it and it wouldn't sound bland, where I could perform it and you'd hear my voice and you'd hear the urgency in this person like battling with like this thoughts of he needs to get up here and leave, but it's like, why are his faculties not working? Like, he needs to leave but body won't let him. And it's like, so yeah, and it's like, you know, but I eventually, like, my guy Barbados Black, like, found him, and me and him, same thing with, like, Catherine Stray, like, we just, most of the people I work with, I mean, it really kind of is more like a team. Like, I'm on, like, a lot of their stuff, whether it's producing, like, and not just the beat making, like, actually producing, being in the studio, like, with them, helping them come up with concepts, like, helping them write songs, like, making the beats, like where the stuff is selected. And I've kind of found that, like, being in that role as well as like being an artist and writing and creating my own story, it's like, in a weird way, we've created like our own like little MCU, and it's like Lucy's almost like the first peg in it, or like the first installment in it. And you know, so we're having a few more to look out for pretty soon here.
What's your favorite track off the album?
God, that is so difficult.
How about favorite lyric line from one of your songs?
See, that's, I mean, I don't want to sound conceited. It's like, but it's like, I do take everything I write and everything I say so serious. It's like, me and my friend Caleb talked about. I was like, I don't like to waste words, and I don't like to waste a word when I'm like rapping. It's like, I want, because like, if someone's listening, that's time they could have been doing something else. You know what I mean? So for them to be like, hey, I'm gonna stop what I'm doing, or stop whatever I could be doing, and decorate my sound and my space with your music, and let you be like the soundtrack for these next 2-3 minutes, whatever it is. I want to make sure that they're going to hear something that is from me, and like that I wouldn't have a problem standing up in front of a bunch of people and saying. And like, once again, it goes back to having something to say, like actually having something to say. Like I've gone through and just been through like a lot of stuff in my life, and like I try my best not to complain about it, because at the end of the day, like, all those experiences make me who I am. The good ones, the great ones, the shitty ones, the amazing ones, all of them make me who I am. My ability to adapt and get through the shitty stuff comes from me being in the shit. Like, my ability to stay humble whenever everything's going good and not get too excited about shit and be like, oh, I'm gonna do, like, is because I've done like really great things and had to like bring myself back down and be like, hey, you're just human. So it's like, for me, it's like music helps me capture that balance perfectly, and like it allows me to be able to really tell my story, but also tell like where I see myself going after this, because, you know, not too long ago I didn't see myself being here. So for me to like now be able to, in a weird way, to be able to start like writing out my own destiny and like my own path, it's actually kind of like a weird, like, little, like, people talk about manifestation all the time, but it's like, me and my friend Caleb was talking about this not that long ago. There's been like this like consistent pattern that we have, where it's like, we'll go see a show at a place and we'll kind of look at each other and be like, you know, it would be nice to perform here one day. Yeah, you're right. And then just a couple months go by, whatever, somehow end up with that opportunity. And
yeah, you spoke it into existence.
Yeah, both like out loud, but also in the music, because the music itself is like, I mean, if anybody really wants to know what I've been up to these past couple years, or what I was up to before that, or what I plan on doing, it's like, it really is like all in the music. Like, all my plans are right there in the music. And, you know, the people that have heard it, like, they're the people that basically, as you can just see, like, from the team I have so far here, like they're the ones that are really like latched on, and, as I said, like, push me to keep going, even in times when I'm like, I feel too tired to keep going. They're the ones that are like, not like my guy Sir Lord, like, me and him have been in the studio quite a bit recently, and like, we're finishing up his project, should be coming out soon, hopefully, and we're finishing up his, and some conversation we were having not that long ago was like him talking about, like, you know, him not feeling too good, like, you know, and him having like certain days he has, and me being able to play him a song of mine that kind of like pulled back the like mask that I wear to make it seem like everything's fine. And it's like, no, don't worry. Like the same battle, the same rage and fire that's going on with you, like it's right here. I'm right here with you. And as I told him, the trick is that like you're not the only one doing that. Like, you're not the only one going through it. There's a lot of people going through that. And a lot of times when we think we're the only ones going through something, we're afraid to speak up and say something to other people. With my experience, whether it's through music, basketball, life, whatever, like, closed mouth don't get fed. And that's something that applies way beyond just making money. It applies to, like, if you need help from somebody, it's like people can't help you unless you ask for it, because it's not because they don't see you or they don't care. In every situation, different. Some situations are different. In mine, it wasn't that they didn't see me or they wasn't cared. It was that like I carried it like everything was all right. I carried it like everything was good. So why would everyone think something's wrong? Like, why would they? If I'm carrying it like everything's peachy keen. So now, like in the music, it enables me to fully express it in a way that helps me relate to other people who are going through it and going through the same things that I've gone through, as well as like, it sounds stupid, but like for me, like be a voice of reason for, like my niece, if she's going through some stuff and she has to deal with it, and say like, she might not be able to get me on the phone at that moment for whatever reason, I don't know. Well, there's this song, I have like a song for her that she can listen to, and she'll know that like, hey, you're not alone, I'm right there with you. Like, and not only am I right there with you, but there's also other people that are a lot closer in your proximity that are with you as well. And that's that's kind of what we've been like kind of building. So for me, yeah, I'm excited to keep working with these artists and honestly keep pushing myself, and hopefully I can one day play some music that'll change the world, or change somebody's life, or change something. I don't know, who knows.
Okay, where can we get a hold of you?
So you can find me on Instagram at Shel Fuego, like SHELPHI Fuego. Same thing on Twitter, same thing on TikTok, same thing on YouTube, same thing on Facebook. Or you can come out and catch me at one of the shows. That kind of be like, I would say the best time, because in between it's like there's like, the stage is great and I love it, but it's not like it's like almost, I won't say like slipping into a character. It's almost like plugging myself into an amp and then turning myself up to like an 11, and then the moment the stage shows down, it's like, all right, turning myself back down to like a cool 7, cool 6. So I would say come to the show so you can come to the show, come kick it with me, so that way, you can come experience it. Come experience not only the show, but just the vibe that like the team brings, and we like to have a good time. So we usually, we're at the Forge quite a bit, Be a Club Cafe quite a bit, Spirit quite a bit, and honestly probably back at Local 724 quite a bit. But yeah, you can find me in all those platforms, or feel free to write me, shoot me an email. Emails on my Instagram. Feel free to let me know what you think of the album, if you make it all the way through. Let me know what you think of the story, if you made the right decision or if you didn't. Let me know what you think.
Okay. Thanks for coming on the show today. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Go out there and be nice to somebody today. Might change somebody's life. Like this bracelet I got on. It's like my third one I have. Like this, it's not okay to be okay. Like I end up keep giving them out quite a bit, because like I'll run into people and they'll see it, and it might be that day where they needed to say that out loud, that it's okay to not be okay, and just kind of found I'm giving them away because it seems like they need it more than me that day. But yeah, go out there and be nice to somebody, be a good person. We only got so long on this spinning rock, so might as well be nice.
clutch. Look, I like to rush, and I love to lust, but I've had enough. I need to break the clutch. Look, I like to rush.
Fight back, fight back, fight back, let's fight back. Come on, fight back, come on, fight back, fight back, let's fight back. Come on, fight back, fight back, fight back, let's fight back. Fight back, come on, fight back. She's dancing slow, saying you want me, licking her fingers, trying to taunt me. If I don't do this, it will haunt me. Begging them, please take your hands off me. Take your hands off me. And I love the lust, but I had enough. I need to break the clutch.